Finally, Vanar. Get there eventually. Aspect of Ego. 1 mana, rare. Spell. Transform any minion into a random minion of the same cost. Ooh. That's nonsense. So we'll come in a bit to the new Wisp. I think this is good with that to start with. Like turn 2 going second, Wisp on a mana tile, aspect of Ego, GG. Right? Like but this is really good with like expensive opening gambit minions like Sunset Paragon, aspect of Ego. Blow up your thing, make a big-ish dude. It's also not bad with Arcanists. Like, most of your Arcanists you won't want to transform away, but it's good on really damaged ones, tokens, or of course as removal because it just costs 1. So, like, it's good at countering buffs. Like, your opponent plays a Haruspex and Primal Ballast it, and you're like, alright, now you have a Primal Shield Master instead. Fine. That's a really interesting card, and I like that, you know, it's going to have the occasional RNG moment of like, oh my god, I hit something stupid. Cloud Caller, 5 mana, 4/5 legendary. Opening Gambit, your Bloodborne spell refreshes and is 1 mana deal 4 this turn. This is really, really good. Like, Bloodbound Mantle just gets better and better with with every passing expansion. And putting one of these into your hand is gross. So that's super strong. You can, on 9 mana, you can play this with Cryptographer to kill 2 things or kill 1 really big thing. That's very good. I like that it doesn't go face, because that would be more boring and miserable. But, like, fundamentally, this card is... It's another Lava Slasher, right? It's like, big dude that kills a dude. And it hits the typical Duelyst bar for value removal, which is 4 damage. So it's going to kill the same things and be weak to the same things. Cryonic Potential. 3 mana, common spell. Give an exhausted friendly minion +6/+6. That is a fantastic design. Does that count if they're stunned? Like, can you stun a minion and buff it? Like the turn you play it. I don't think that counts, right? Even if the art involves ice. But I think this is a really cool card because the pattern of buff spells were like, I have to stick it, and then I'm going to buff my thing, and then I'm going to hit them in the face, and your opponent's like, fine, it gets bigger, and I take damage. This gives... It's really efficient, so it doesn't... The creature doesn't just always die to removal, like they have to have much more specific removal to get rid of it. And you can play it on a way more expendable creature, like a Crystal Wisp or something. Not that Crystal Wisps ever get exhausted, but... So it's harder to use, but the payoff is better, but it's kind of fairer for your opponent. I really like this design. Rotated minions can't be selected, I think. Can you... Does it count for minions that you've just played? They're exhausted, right? So you can play something and play this straight away. Stun a minion, buffer, then dispel it to attack. Lol. Disciple of Yggdra. 3 mana, 2/3 legendary. When an enemy minion is stunned, transform this into a 3 mana 5/5 token with whenever an enemy minion is stunned. Whenever an enemy is stunned, fully heal this minion. So this card's really good. This is obviously Ilena support. On 4 you get to going first, 4 mana, stun an enemy minion, play this. So you get a 4/5, you get a 5/5 and a stun, which is a huge tempo swing. And of course, your Frigid Corona is now a heal spell for your 5/5, which is gross. So the amount of tempo and snowball you can get off this thing is pretty big. I'm very excited to play this with Flash Freeze as well. Yeah, I'm keen. Talking about Ego. Not sure what you're referring to there, Yoshi. Unless I'm being egotistical. If so, I apologize. Endless Hunt. 4 mana rare spell. Summon a 3/3 Vesper Night Howler. Put an Endless Hunt into your action bar. Well now. 4 mana 3/3 that never goes away. So it basically gives you an extra Bloodborne spell. That seems really good. It's a Vesper as well. That's like one of the better Vesper cards, because the problem with Vespers is they're all tiny and you just run out of them towards the end of the game. And it's a spell trigger for Arcanists. Fills up your hand. The lines you read before, oh, about transforming buff minions, maybe? Yeah, this seems pretty strong. Vanar Desolator. Yeah, actually that's a really good comparison. I think this card's very, very good. Your opponent can't really do anything about it either, right? They can't stop you, they can mill it. This one doesn't heal your general. No, but it makes 3/3s, which is like the thing with Desolators, they can transform it or dispel it. This can't be interacted with at all. I think that's really good. That's going to be very good in Gauntlet as well. Like, you get 2 copies of that, you just don't need to draft anything that costs more than 5 mana, ever. Fenrir Berserker. 5 mana, 4/3, rare. Dying Wish, summon a Fenrir War Master on the space, which is a 3 mana, 3/2 that when it dies gets another 3 mana, 3/2. This card's cool. I don't see this seeing ladder play ever, but as a Gauntlet card, that's pretty sweet. That's quite fun. I don't think it's that powerful, but I like it a lot. I like the design. The Reliquary Artifact steals health in Abyss and summons a Night Howler in Vanar. Desert steals health in Abyss and this summons a Night Howler in Vanar. Yeah, I like the consistency. That's good. Ice Age spell. 7 mana, legendary spell. Summon Blazing Spines along the outside of the battlefield. Blazing Spines being a 3/3 wall that can attack. That's really gross. I think that's funny as hell. Does Winter's Wake rotate? I don't remember if Winter's Wake rotates, but that curves into Winter's Wake. So unless they have Plasma Storm or EMP, you win. Or Frostburn, I guess, but no one plays that. Plus, like, by itself, this card is still good. Like, your opponent has to... Unless your opponent's in the center, there's basically, like... there's 5 squares in the center, along the middle row, that are safe, where your opponent can't get hit by 3/3s next turn, and otherwise they can get hit by 3/3s. So this card cages them in really harshly. So I think it's actually quite powerful. Obviously it is 7 mana, but I think that's quite good. And yeah, this obviously with Nemomancer is hilarious. Nemovore, or whatever it's called, is hilarious. Wake rotates? Aww. Play Pado on 5 walls. That's hilarious! Doing that. Yeah, no, this is really, really powerful, I think. Like, not... Well, I don't know. Does it just win the game? Like, your opponent has 5 squares that they can go forever without getting hit for free by a bunch of walls. So, like, eventually they'll chew through some of them, but they'll take so much damage doing it, like, either to themselves or their minions, that... I think that could be really good. Yeah. It's more than one of the hubs, because the walls have an attack radius as well. There's literally just the 5 squares in the center of the middle row where they can't get hit. And yeah, it makes the battlefield physically smaller, but the real thing is the threat range. Because you can also, if you have minions that are like along... That's the other thing, you can stand on a wall and play this and just surround yourself with spines. So there'll be spines like around you. Yeah, this is really strong. Malicious Wisp. 4 mana, 4/3 epic. Opening Gambit, take a mana crystal from your opponent. Dying Wish, give back the mana crystal. So it ramps and destroys their mana, at least until they kill it. That's really strong. Really, really... Holy crap, that 4-drop, what the hell? Okay, we'll come to that in a sec. This Malicious Wisp, this is really good. This card, so if you transform it, like obviously the ego thing, 5 mana, steal the mana crystal, transform the Malicious Whip, that's pretty good. Like, you can do a lot of nasty things with this by bouncing it, dispelling it, transforming it. But even just playing it by itself, like, if you play it defensively, they might not be able to reach it for a turn or 2. And whereupon you just get a massive tempo boost. Like, the worst case scenario is they remove it, obviously. But that's really good. Aspect of the Worm, that's funny. With the walls. Or like Half Sister. Meltwater Moose. 4 mana, 6/7 common Vesper. Common Vesper! Oh my goodness. When this minion is summoned, stun it. Oh, stun it! Oh, good. God, I thought it said whenever another minion is summoned. That's still really strong. I like that a lot, actually. That's a very powerful, clean design. So, I was talking about Vespers. One of the biggest problems with Vespers, they have all these tiny crap dudes. And they're all crap. And this thing's huge. And with no downside, like, if you dispel it, it gets better. Really good. It might also trigger, like, you can use Essence Sculpt to put more copies in your hand. To have more 6/7s for 4. So, that seems good to me. Oak in the Nematon. 6 mana, 6/6 trial card. Try will have 5 token minions with different names. Destiny, friendly tokens have +4/+4. Well, there's your Ice Age synergy. Yeah, this card's really cool. So, in terms of tokens, there's all the different walls. There's the Wolves of Fenrir Warmaster. There's this thing, Yggdra's Veracity. There's all the different aspects. There's well, not this one, but there's 2 others. Shimzar's rotating. The token battle pets are going. There's illusion tokens. Do you have to have them all in play? Surely not. I imagine not. Just summon 5. That would be rubbish if you had to have them all actually in play. Like, just win the game with your tokens then. Yeah, this card seems very strong. Like, slow and a little janky, but Vanar are very good at that. And so I think it'll be solid. Should scroll this over. The 1/1 Provoke tree. Yeah, good show. Winter Marids off Voice in the Wind or Winter Tide. Yeah, the 3/3s that you get off Frostiver and this. There's quite a lot of different things you can do. I'll need to experiment with it. Permafrost. 3 mana epic spell, stun an enemy minion, stunned enemy minions, stun a nearby enemy. So the way this works, it turns out, is you stun one target, and then, once, anything that is stunned stuns one random thing next to it. Doesn't have to be a minion, it can be their general. So it's not like Thunderhorn where it chains or it doesn't like, spread forever. It's just, you stun one additional thing, and then everything stuns one thing next to it. So a lot of the time, it's going to stun a decent portion of their board. Like if you've got an Ilena activation, it's probably going to stun their whole team, which is a lot for 3 mana. Like you could kind of make them skip their turn. It costs you a card, but if you're playing Spelljammers, that's probably okay. And if you're playing a combo deck where you just want to get to 9 mana and then you kill them, that's also okay, right? Kron would have been good. Kron would have been good with everything, right? Resonance Scythe, 2 mana epic artifact. Your general has +1 attack. Reactivate your general whenever they destroy a stunned enemy. Well, there's a combo with Permafrost. This thing seems really strong, actually. Like, you're mostly going to be... Well, I guess I see that. So I've played a lot of Ilena with Ice Shatter Gauntlet, and it's surprisingly hard to set up. Not everyone is playing minions, or minions that actually matter. And this thing is like, you need Ice Shatter Gauntlet and a stun target and this. But on the other hand, if you get it off, then you get to sweep across their board or move a long distance, whatever. So that seems pretty powerful. So I quite like that. Thicket Augur, 2 mana 1/1 common, intensify. Summon a Treant with Provoke nearby. So this is nice Kara support. It's nice Oak support. It's just a pretty reasonable card. Like a pair of 1/1s for one of which has Provoke is fine. When you start making 2 Provokes, that's pretty good. You know, that's decent stall in the mid-game. Like, they'll die, but they'll hold up something much bigger than them for a turn, similar to stunning, so that kind of works out. We're almost through, yeah. My poor throat. Once you got 5 tokens in play, you can play Nematon whenever you want later on. Right, yeah, that would make sense. Oh, Pandora, yeah. that's sick. Deck name Thick Meantown. Yeah. Thick with 2 C's at Augur. Wanderlust, 1 mana common spell, intensify. Teleport 1 random enemy minion to a space on your starting side of the battlefield. Wow, that is some shenanigans. Like, even just the first copy of that's really good. Because it's removal, right? Like, it's not amazing removal, but it's still, you get to set up a trade, or if you're fighting on their side of the board, you get to punt something away for cheap. You can break up formations, you can pull out ranged units, like if they play Veil Hunter, you just play this and kill it. You can pull stuff into range, you can try and get lucky and set up Thunderhorn combos. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. And of course, once you start teleporting multiple things, like, again, you push really hard for your opponent's side of the board, and then you play this and you teleport 2 creatures to the end of the world and just start wailing on your opponent's face. Like, that's a lot of tempo. You probably win that game. Avalanche support. Oh, baby. Yes. Yes, Wanderlust Avalanche. The jank is real. That seems like, to be fair, that does seem like a good Gauntlet combo. It's also good with What's that? Draugr Aelith, the build minion that slows them down, or the 1-mana spell, blinding, the 1 damage spell, blinding snowstorm. But that's an entire card. Like, if you've got a Draugr Aelith in play, those minions aren't going back. Like, your 7/14 will have killed your opponent long before their units get back to the fight. Is the space random? I assume so. The intensify cards don't target, I think. And if it... I guess you could have... No, because it picks random enemies and then presumably it random space. Because I don't know how the UI would work for picking 2 spaces without picking the enemies. It would be a bit odd. I feel pretty good stalling cards in here. Yeah, I agree.